You know what? He
On
helps a
the
lot.
dick scale of 1 to 10, where would you put him?
He helps a lot of guys.
Nah, you're being politically correct because you know him.
No, we've had this talk. I mean, he's been outed by newcomer girls and the whole nine yards, and
Wow.
he admits he has a problem with that, and which just
So
has.
he's at least a solid 8 on the dick scale. Yeah, that's a yes. I'll say it so you don't get in trouble. He's an 8. Hey,
You're low.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, this is fantastic drama.
You're low. So I had to sit there and take the lecture about how, at his meeting hall, yeah, they have some break-ins, but it was struggling, and how the girl that runs the gallery should get, 75, 80% because that's the way they do it at clubs. And I didn't know I was going to a meeting at a meeting club. I thought I was going to a meeting. Now, and like I say, I told her in confidence, and she took it and ran with it and got a resentment. And, now she wants to run the place like a meeting hall. And, a guy that shows up, was never a home group member, just decides to join the home group member to stir shit up. And, yeah, he's celebrating 11 years this Friday. But, so now there's no question he knows who I'm talking about. And
Okay,
a
good.
lot of other people do too.
I'm glad we can make this many people uncomfortable. I doubt they'll listen to this.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, what if they don't listen to it? Think of it that way. That's probably even for the best, right?
Maybe. No, he'll listen to it.
He will.
Oh,
one of those.
After we bring up this business meeting, they both will, and that's okay. I mean, I haven't had the chance to make my feelings known to them, but I think they could tell by my silence and, of course, my epithet of class that
you're on a podcast.
I didn't go off of it.
I don't even know how this would be deemed in the classy part. We're basically bringing.
Well, no, now I'm not saying. No, I'm never classy here, but I really held myself back Saturday night and just bit my tongue and said, "Hey, it's not up to me. If she wants, if she wants $15 a week out of the $20 we collect, if she wants to make it so we stop donating big books and buying literature and doing all that stuff,
well, it can be a private meeting.
Put in her pocket. That's fine.
I mean, legally, she could make it a private meeting. I mean,
yeah, she could. She could. I mean, there is a meeting there that's not in the book that the guy wants to put in the book, but it's a yoga meditation deal, and there's no room for anybody else in it. So why would you put it in the book? I mean, it's standing room only, and again, I can totally 99.9% sure say that she is still treating them the way she treated them before, and just changed the way she treated us because somebody questioned her business tenacity, that when she basically inconvenienced her tenant, justifiably so, for a bigger profit, she charged the tenant expenses instead of eating them themselves. And I just, like I say, being treasurer, I look at things very principled, very business-like, and it's no big deal. I mean, $20 is a great deal to run a meeting for a month. And in fact, even if we give her $60, it's a great deal to run a meeting for a month if we have it. I actually like the percentage deal, because then if people show up, like nobody showed up on Christmas Eve, there's $5 or $6 in the kitty, and that's that. I mean, it is what it is. But the Sevens tradition is important. It does a lot of outreach. And now we're not going to be able to give it to H&I. We're not going to be able to give away big books, and it's a shame. I mean, I guess maybe I should have spoke up at the meeting and I said, hey, how about 50% so we can still give some away? But I'm not going to sit there and have $1 million argument over $5 a week. That's the principle I was focusing on. Just, try and get out of the room without killing anybody. People want to hijack the meeting, by all means. The meeting was going to shut down a couple of years ago because it was too much effort for her, and she asked my help. I asked the help of other people. We helped out a little, but finally she said she can't do it, and I said, well, there's less than 20 people here. We'll just shut it down. And we only had 4 or 5 people at that meeting in the last 3 weeks. And of course, what do you think happens? 20 people on the dot show up. So I mean, it's a God thing. I get it. So we kept running. So again, $1 million argument over $23, but it is what it is. Now I get to go to a meeting that's in a meeting hall that has artwork for sale in it.
It seems like a lot of drama.
Oh, tons of drama. Tons of drama.
And I'm not exactly sure why, from a neutral perspective of why has this gotten so far out of hand?
Well, because I made the mistake of telling something to my friend in confidence. And she did not.
Obviously it's not a friend.
Actually, there's been a couple times where things have happened that things have happened that I don't agree with. And
okay, yeah. So how would you put her in the friend category?
I would put her as a good friend. I would also say that there are some behaviors of hers that I do not approve of. I accept, but I don't approve of.
That's co-signing. I mean, that's basically enabling...
because I tell her about it.
Because you're clearly enabling these bad behaviors, and here it is fronting itself again in a much bigger setting.
Well, the other one was much different. You know, it was I'm going to beat somebody's ass and call the cops if you don't come help me deal with this. And I just observed because I knew the other person as well. And 2 days later, the cops were called. So, I mean, it just, why even get me involved?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's and she knows I don't agree with that stuff.
I still think you're enabling her.
I can't tell her anything in confidence or in favors. And it's, yeah.
So what does that do for the meeting now? Does the meeting
suffer
we're gonna
and now there's
drama?
We haven't met yet. We have a couple people that have quit the home group.
So people have quit this meeting now.
Well, they were on the edge of quitting it before. So I wouldn't blame that. We're going to see what happens. It's too soon to tell.
And the person who caused all this drama and dilemma, I'm going to take a wild guess, has no issue with what she's done.
No, because it was his idea. He was he was the third baseman.
Okay.
Yeah.
It seems awfully stellar.
Yeah, I mean, to me, if we left the place like a mess, which we didn't because there was other people in there after us.
Right.
And if one person that she placed in charge that the group didn't hold accountable to, that nobody knew about, didn't help out because everybody knows he's undependable and why she would have expected him to do that instead of somebody else. Why take it out on us?
That's a very valid question. Other than,
is the extra $40 going to make a difference a month? I don't know.
I don't know why.
Is it going to keep the place cleaner? Is it gonna clean the coffee pots? I don't know.
This is a remarkable level of bullshit.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's
horrible. And we were supposed to buy the chairs Sunday online.
Yeah.
And just hey, what the hell? I mean, we still haven't bought them.
I don't think you are. I think it's safe to say
I'm the guy with the money, so someone's got to get a hold of me. I'm the guy holding the group's money.
It is a remarkable level of bullshit. Over.
And of course, I had such a resentment that I was thinking of going right to the casino with the money.
Which, by the way, wouldn't be the first time in CA history.
Oh, absolutely, but I didn't do it.
As I recall in my past, and this is Covina lore, we had somebody steal the entire San Gabriel Valley pot of money.
Oh, I knew a guy that they that hit a group for $7,000, the biggest group in the valley.
Right.
And he's still giving them.
And the big debate was whether or not to.
And he's still sober.
Right. And the big debate was whether or not to prosecute the individual, and they actually held a meeting to decide whether or not to turn it over to the police. I said, to this day, I'm like, he broke the law. Like
he stole that. Now that's co-signing.
Right.
Just biting your tongue is a little bit different than co-signing.
Man, to have a physical meeting to debate that is insane. You need to turn down your speaker a little bit. I'm getting feedback.
You talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah. I just hooked them up 2 seconds before you called. I have a new computer.
Ah, very good. Well, that's because we're a class operation. They want to hear the bounce back off your microphone. I mean, your speakers.
How about that? Is that better?
Much better. Perfect.
Okay.
So,
what'd you say?
Well, we're a classy organization like that.
Yes.
Because everybody wants to talk about this on their podcast instead of, how do I do the next step?
Right. Yeah. How do I help a newcomer?
Honestly, we are.
Here, you know how we're helping the newcomer?
The
just take a service commitment and keep your mouth shut at business meetings.
I think everybody, when they do a podcast like this, wants to do the meeting after the meeting and what we really talk about at coffee. No, you don't. No, you don't, because you're afraid. You won't. You won't really do what we're doing. I'll tell you why we're getting away with talking about what we're talking about. First, Ian doesn't give a shit.
No.
I don't go to meetings because I think everybody's fucked up.
I'll be banished from the property Saturday.
I guarantee it.
God's will.
God's. But really, what's most important to me is that Las Vegas Strip is getting its own In-N-Out burger. I mean, and the fact that the link is actually going to have.
Now, are they going to allow smoke rooms in the casinos or what?
I don't know. If it's legal, is that a relapse? By AA standards,
if you're prescribed, no. I don't think so.
It's legal in California.
If you're recreational, I think it's a relapse. But if you're prescribed, I don't think so.
Why? How much pot do you really have to smoke to really consider it a relapse? I mean,
I don't know because I'm not a pot guy, but I'd love to find a bottle of Quaaludes right now.
So would I.
Those were brought up today.
Yeah, but that's totally different.
Yeah.
Opioids as compared to pot. I don't even see the comparison.
Quaaludes and Duran Duran died in the 80s.
That's because these kids just don't know. They just don't know.
No, I mean, I would not be in recovery.
And to be perfectly honest, the kids today are ruining all the good, newer opioids as well, so...
Oh, my God, they hijacked all the radio stations here last night at the same time and played this heroin, prescription to addiction special.
You're kidding.
Yeah, which a lot of people that I know in recovery were on. And they sounded good.
Okay, well, great.
Sure, they help people driving around that were trying to score heroin that were forced to listen to this because there was no music on the radio. Or those that weren't but wanted to after they listened to it.
So what did we learn from today's episode?
It takes a certain type of individual to be an acceptance about politics inside and outside the program.
All right, well, let's define that person.
Let's go in and out. Let's go in and out of the program.
I'm a business-minded guy, right? So if I'm assigning a person to actually be... Let's define who would be perfect for this position. Maybe somebody's listening going, hey, I want to get political in NACAA. How do I go about it? First of all, how much time... they always do the bullshit of how minimum time you should have. Let's be honest. How much time do you think someone should have, and where's the jaded cutoff? Like I'm saying...
It depends on what they're doing.
I like 5 years. If you got 5 years, you probably got enough sand underneath you.
Yeah, good luck finding somebody in Phoenix with 5 years in NA.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, that's clearly my kind of town. Maybe that's it. Maybe I need to be in a town where relapse is at a greater number. I would enjoy it more.
I shouldn't say that. NA has gotten much longer time lately.
Has it? All right.
Yeah,
well,
I know a few guys in
for
the 20s and
CA,
30s.
You're not going to find anybody with 5 years because they'll all go to AA meetings. So, is the minimum? What's the general minimum? 6 months?
You're wrong because CA has hotter girls here.
Okay. See, that's an Arizona thing. And I still say this, all you hot girls listening, I don't think you exist. Just telling you. That's my experience.
Sane ones? Oh, just kidding.
No, insane is better. But I'm just telling you based on my personal experience of going to meetings, I've never seen anybody insanely that over the top hot. I just haven't. At least that has a brain cell to rub together. I guess I have to qualify. There aren't smart, sober, hot women in the meetings. There aren't.